Hi, welcome to Books with Lexi. This video is a 48-hour readathon vlog. So in the month of April, I am co-hosting a super cool readathon called Realmathon, and within that there's a 48-hour readathon where you get extra points for every book you read. So that happened this past weekend. I forgot to film an intro. I just started talking about books. So here's your intro. All information for Realmathon is linked in the description. It's still not too late to join. So let's get into the vlog. I am a third into A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. This is my fourth book I've read from T. Kingfisher. I've read all of her horror books, and I have a lot of questions about where this is going. So it's interesting because this feels very similar in setup to both, what are those books called? The Twisted Ones and The Hollow Places. They all involve going back to their hometown and like dealing with something because of a relative. So we are following Sam, who goes back to her family home to find a giant vulture on the mailbox just staring at the house, and then she goes inside and like there's some random changes that have been made and her mom is starting to like act different, and that's pretty much what has happened so far. That is on the back, but there's like some weird things to do with bugs. Our main character is visiting because she is an archaeologist slash bug scientist. What is the term for that? She sifts through dirt to find dried out insects, or looking at dried out insect husks that other people have taken pictures of. Archaeontomologist, something like that. So studying insects in archaeological remains. Words are hard. So yeah, weird things are happening. So our main character is a bug lady, and also there's like some strange things happening with like ladybugs. I did not mean to call her a bug lady and then say ladybug. Anyway, I'm reading this while I'm working on some bookmarks for my readathon happening in May. I'm really happy with part of how they're turning out, but still doing some testing. So that's like taking up a lot of my brain power. So I am only a third in and it is 11:18. So I would like to get through another third of this at least tonight. I'm not sure how long we're gonna be on sprints. In theory, I'd love to finish it, but we'll see. So I'll update you again once I'm 2/3 of the way in. Also, I have to say that sprints, I'm concerned. This has been so chaotic and disturbing. You know, if fingerlings means anything to you, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you're lucky. Sorry you can see my Instagram schedule for my Readathon Instagram. I am 75% into A House with Good Bones, and there was just the big reveal that happened, and I don't know, like, I'm not surprised by it at all, and like, I don't know, Mel said she felt like it came out of nowhere, and like, I agree with that, but also, it didn't surprise me at all. It doesn't feel like that weird. I mean it is, but I don't I don't know what I was expecting, but I think I'm just like kind of bored by this one. I don't think it's gonna get more than 3 stars, which is a bummer because I think this will end up being my lowest rated from T. Kingfisher, unless this gets like really weird with everything, which is still possible, but like I guess I gave the Twisted Ones 4 stars, but it was kind of like a 3.5. So this one could be the same, but that one I think I was a little more entertained in. I will say it's really interesting to read a T. Kingfisher after meeting her. The way she writes is the way she talks, and it's very interesting. So that's kind of all I have to say. Most of this is very slow and like not a lot is happening, and it's a little boring. It does give me, what's that pink Sarah Gailey book? Just No, Just Like Home? It's kind of giving me those vibes, but like less interesting in my opinion. And I know a lot of people thought that was boring. So I'm gonna finish it. It is 1:20, but we're on the last sprint and I will be able to finish it in this sprint. So I will report back soon. I spoke too soon. I stopped at the end of a chapter and I thought that was the big reveal. And the next page, there was like another thing on top of that, and that is weird. That's all I have to say. Hello, it is 1:37 a.m. technically on Sunday. So I've had a very busy day, but I wanted to update you on everything. I didn't give you my final thoughts on A House with Good Bones. Since then, I have started When the Reckoning Comes, and I have started and finished All Systems Red, the first Murderbot book, and Ramina, I don't know how to say it, by Junji Ito. I also have made like 120 bookmarks or started doing them. I have 4 stacks of these. So it's just been very busy. We also went out to lunch with Adam's family for his birthday, which was yesterday. So anyway, A House with Good Bones, I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. This is definitely my least favorite from T. Kingfisher. There were certain aspects that I liked. So a lot of times if I'm bored during the book, I give it 2 stars. And usually if that's the case, I considered DNFing for part of it. And for this one, I did not. So that's why it's going to get 3 stars. It definitely gave me Just Like Home vibes by Sarah Gailey. I think I mentioned that yesterday. The ending of this was, I would have never guessed it. There technically were clues to lead up to it, but like, how do you come up with this idea? I don't know. My brain could never. So, um, yeah, I think I liked where it went. I did like a lot of discussions in here, and I think T. Kingfisher's writing is fun, and I like her characters, but for some reason this just like didn't completely work for me. I'm not exactly sure why, because it doesn't feel that different from especially the twisted ones, with just like the vibe of the characters, and then it gets weird and all of this stuff. So yeah, 3 stars for A House with Good Bones. I have not been going over my points for everything, so I am going to do that now. So this is obviously for Sanctum. It is 243 pages. So it does get the over 200 page bonus. And I did read this for the 48-hour readathon. So for this, I think I'm going to defend. So going through, this does count for my genre. It is not indie. And I actually would say that this is hybrid. But I won't tell you which hybrid genre because it does happen later in the book. Sorry, I'm trying to keep note of meaning things. I wouldn't say it has a source of light. It has light, but that's not the source. Spell my name on the cover. So Lexi is very difficult. Cast that I could just take it out. I'm gonna count it because everything else is on the cover. I would say that good counts as an emotion. This counts for an author using initials. I would say this is underrated. Those are the only 4 that I think work for this. So that's 10 points for the pages, 10 points for being peace talks, 10 points for in my genre, and 10 points for hybrid. So 40, and then 18 for the 4 prompts. So 58 points for A House with Good Bones. So the next book I have finished is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in the Murderbot series, and we are following a not human but kind of human character whose job is to be a murder bot. But really they just want to like hang out and watch TV and stuff. This I am going to give 3 stars. I didn't really love the plot, but I did like the character of Murderbot. and I think I'm going to continue in the series because they're short and because I'm interested in seeing more from the character of Murderbot. Honestly, I don't have much else to say other than that. So this is 160 pages, so no page bonus, but it is Peace Talks. This does not get any of the bonus prompts. It is not indie, it is not from my team, and it's not hybrid. I am going to go with there being a source of light on the cover. It looks to me like there's a rainbow in the back, and yes, a rainbow is like a reflection of light on things, but the rainbow also gives off light, so I'm going with that. So I can only see the front cover, but I am counting, spell my name. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer over here, but this does not have an emotion, not a weather related word. This is a new to me author. No initials, not a retelling. A book with mental health rep, not really. This is not underrated, not cursive, not YA, not multi-POV. I would say this is out of my comfort zone because it is straight sci-fi. It was not a buddy read. I listened to the audiobook and I don't think it had a map. So for this, I have 19 points total. Okay, next is Remina. This is a sci-fi horror by Junji Ito. This is following a scientist who discovers a new planet and then he names it after his daughter, and then they realize that the planet is actually heading straight towards Earth, and people decide that the scientist and his daughter are the ones that called it there and it is their fault. I like this one, but I wasn't super invested. I wasn't like disgusted or freaked out like I have been reading other Junji Ito. So I think this one feels like 3 stars to me as well, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. So this is under 200 pages because it is manga, but I did read it for Peace Talks, so 10 points. This is indie because it's not under the big 5 for the purposes of this readathon. It is hybrid and it does include my team genre. Not a host favorite, not a source of light. I cannot spell my name on the cover. This is underrated. So defense, the points are not good. So I'm going to look at increasing because I could only get 4 points total, like other than the bonus points. BRB, I want sprints. Okay, I'm back. Let's log this book. Okay, so attack. I'm not telling you who I'm attacking. Okay, a book I didn't buy. There's technically a monster on the cover, and I'd say it's a dark cover. So not many points, but better than defending. So not a lot of points for the prompts, but because of Peace Talks and then the 3 bonus prompts, I have 48 points for Remina. And then the last thing to update you on is I am a third into When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. This is probably the longest book that I will read before ending. Both of these were slightly longer books, but I wanted to prioritize them this weekend. So When the Reckoning Comes is following a woman who is invited to go to her old high school friend's wedding. And then she finds out that it is taking, I almost said set up. I mean, technically, the wedding is at an old plantation and she has issues with this, which like, yeah, her friend was mocked in high school for being the only white girl with black friends. And our main character, Mira, did not want to be living in a segregated town. Valid. So Celine, the friend, invites Mira to her wedding at the plantation that is rumored to be haunted by slaves. And then there's also this like thing that happened in the past with Mira and Celine and what's his name? Starts with a J. I don't remember. Jesse, the friend from the past. So this plantation has been redone and is kind of paying tribute to its past. So there's like antebellum themed drinks and reenactments. Oh my gosh, reading that, I was not okay. And like everyone that works there is black and it's just like very bad. So where I am now, Mira has just started experiencing the like renovated plantation and we're learning a little bit about the past. I'm not loving it, but I'm still super interested in the story. So like it's feeling like maybe 4 at the moment because it's having a lot of good discussion. And I think I'm gonna like where this will go. It's 2 in the morning and my brain I feel like is barely functioning. So I'm sorry if none of that made sense, but I'm gonna go and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Today, but when I wake up. Hello, it is Wednesday. I have been so busy that I didn't update you on my last three final reads of this readathon. Sorry, Bowser just laid down and hit this table. So I'm going to go through the books and my final thoughts, and then we will log them together. So the first one that I finished, I believe I actually haven't talked to you about. And this is called Love is War. It is manga. It's a romance manga. And I picked it up because someone recommended it for spy family vibes. So I read that. I enjoyed it. I think I might continue reading it. It's one that I've been reading before bed because it's easy to fall asleep while reading and it doesn't really matter because it's one that's easy to remember everything. So it's not like I'm missing a lot if I'm falling asleep while reading it. This is following two, I think they're in high school, but they are the top of their class, and for some reason they can't admit their feelings to each other because it's weak. I don't know, but the whole thing is both of them just trying to force the other one to admit that they like each other first. So I enjoyed it. I don't know what I'm rating this, but I'm gonna log it. So Love is War, Volume 1, 100 or 200 pages. I did read it for Peace Talks. Going to try Defending. So it only counts for indie. It's not hybrid and it's not in my genre. Not a host favorite. There is Not a Source of Light. L-E. Okay, there's only one E. Yeah, so I'm not going to count that. Title with an emotion. Yes, Love. Not a weather-related word. This is a new to me author. No two initials, no retelling. I wouldn't say this is a book with mental health rep. Underrated, a book out of my comfort zone, and an ebook. So that is 5 prompts for a total of 10, 15, 20, 23, 25, 26 points defending Sanctum. Next, I finished Artificial Condition by Martha Wells. This is the second Murderbot book, and I didn't really love. And this is another one that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one as well, but it's just a quick good time. It's not anything that I think about, and I'm not at the moment planning on continuing with the series. 158 pages, so no bonus. I did read it during Peace Talks. Oh, the last one I got an extra 10 on top of whatever I said because of Peace Talks. Okay, let's try for Defending. Go to the bottom. This doesn't fit any of the bonus prompts. Kind of a sad time, not a host favorite. To me, it looks like there's light on the cover. Yeah, there's lights in this ship. So, source of light on the cover. Okay, there's L-E. You know, I was told that I could spell my name, well, one without an X, and also L-E-C-K. I don't know, but so there's a blurb on here that's L-E-C-K-I-E. So I'm counting it because X is the hardest thing. I would not say that that's an emotion or weather related word. Not a new to me author. No initials, no retelling, no mental health. I don't know. I don't think this is underrated. How many reviews? No, it's over 100,000. Still a book out of my comfort zone. That's not very many points, but I got 2 big ones. I'm just gonna go for it because Sanctum needs some help right now. So 10, 22, 23, 24. I guess not terrible. Not great, but it's fine. Okay, so submit. And then the last book that I read for Peace Talks is When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. This is by far my favorite that I read for Peace Talks. I'm going to give this 5 stars. There were some really disturbing things in here. The way that this went was so good, and it was just very interesting. So the first half I was feeling like it was going to be 4 stars, but the second half made it 5 stars for me. I think the integration of the ghosts into the story was so good, and I really loved how this ended up going. It is sad and it deals with like heavier topics, but I think it was done really well, and I'm very happy that I finally read this. And this is a book from my TBR game, so look at me go. Okay, so logging this, it is 2:37. So I get a page count. What? Page count bonus. And then yes, it was in peace talks. So it's already 20 points. Let's try to defend. So it's not indie, it is HarperCollins. It's not hybrid, but it is my team genre. Not a host favorite. There's not a source of light. Spell my name. L-E-I-E. My name includes no X anymore. Okay, so spell my name. Title with an emotion. No, reckoning's not an emotion. No. Weather-related word. No. This is a new to me author. Author does not use initials. I will say this has mental health rep. This has just over 5,000 ratings, so that's definitely underrated. This one also works for a book that plays with history, in a way. So that is 5. So I have 20 for peace talks and page count, and then 30 team genre, 36, 41, 45, 48, 50. 50 points for When the Reckoning Comes. Submit. Okay, those are all my peace talks books. I read, what did I read? A House with Good Bones, which I am really excited I got to. I read Remina by Junji Ito. I read the first and second Murderbot book. I read Love is War Volume 1 and When the Reckoning Comes. So I'm very happy with my progress. I thought I was going to read a lot more, but I was very derailed by bookmark making for my readathon that's happening in May. And I'm really glad that I did all of that, but I was just like, certain times I could not be listening to audiobooks and I was a little distracted. But I'm happy with the 6 books that I read. All information for Realmathon is linked in the description if you are interested in joining. It is not too late. Also, information for my readathon happening in May is in the description as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!